All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about consulting 101, 5 easy, simple tips. Many of you have asked me about this, and it's not that complicated, to tell you the truth. I think consulting is one of the best methods of self-employment, one of the greatest ways to learn more about your craft and industry, and one of the best ways of rapidly evolving yourself as an individual and also as a practitioner. So these are 5 simple, easy steps, man. You don't need to download any courses. You don't have to take courses. I think a lot of times people selling courses is just full of fluff. These are actionable steps that you can do now that pretty much cost you almost nothing. So the first step, regardless of what type of consultant you are, it doesn't matter if you're dealing with people as individuals or you're dealing with companies, startups, corporations, it goes to one simple thing that Jay Abraham talks about, and that is preeminence. You know, the space is saturated regardless of what space you're in. And when it comes to people hiring you for the knowledge base that you have, it goes to perception. If they don't perceive that you are the right choice, no matter how smart you think you are, or no matter how knowledgeable you are, you will never get hired. And so preeminence, in a nutshell, is owning the mental real estate in your customer's mind. If you don't own the mental real estate, you do not have business, right? So you have to become a trusted advisor. You have to understand your client through empathy, and the views that you have, in a nutshell, have to be unique and to your own. Now, the question is, okay, the preeminence is a pyramid shape. You are on the top. When people think of a niche or category of something, it can be sub-niches, you come to mind. The question is, how do you get there? We'll be going through that in this one. But the reality is you don't get there overnight. Most, let's say, you can call them consultant advisors, whatever it may be, if this is your personal, like, shtick, you know, or I shouldn't say shtick. If this is your go-to career, if you are doubling down as a consultant, this is what you need to do to get preeminence. And it's not fucking rocket science. It's not at all. You need to generate, and listen, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this too. Him and I have different views on how to do it, but it's actually the same. People talk about content. Content's really important. A couple of reasons why. Content puts you in front of more people eyeballs. It just goes to laws of number, right? The more content you produce, statistically speaking, more people will see it. But content alone is not the best, specifically if you're trying to do the strategy of preeminence. And this ties into preeminence right here, case studies, right? A lot of times if you are a consultant, you know, you'll write a blog or you'll write an article and it'll be a very like surface level type of deal. Most people talk as opposed to show me. I rarely see this done properly. And so basically a great strategy is get 2 to 4 pro bono clients. I mean, completely pro bono, and build deep studied case studies on them. Like, do not tell me how good you are. Show me what you've done. The proof is in the pudding. And so if you can take 2 to 4 high level case studies, I'm talking about first auditing the problem. Okay, so that's your baseline, your substrate. Then showing the strategy that you implemented, then showing the results and documenting it both on text. Video would be great as well. Obviously stats, depending whether maybe you're a marketer consultant or maybe you're a brand, I don't know, there's fucking many of them out there. But no matter which one you are, there is a baseline substrate that you start and the end results, that you are the delta. You are the medium that produced those results. Well, fucking show me. Don't just tell me about it. Show me how you did this. This is how you get preeminence. Showing your domain expertise, showing me your results. Like, it's that simple, to be honest with you. You know, so 2 to 4 pro bono cases. Okay, next. So you understand preeminence. You understand the hierarchical nature of owning mental real estate. You understand you have to produce amazing case studies, not just shitty little content, but really good deep dive case studies. Next thing is funnel. Now, a lot of people try to complicate the funnel. You could create complicated funnels. I don't recommend it at the beginning. I'm a firm believer in executing as fast as possible and getting results as fast as possible. So something simple that you can start right now is pull up a Google Doc. You can go to LinkedIn, Google, Twitter. You can look for keywords related to your brand or related to your industry. You can hire somebody, actually do this on Upwork, probably like $200-300, or you can do it yourself. then basically what you want to do is you want to get email addresses. There's services that you can get email address from users. There's people you can hire on Upwork, like I mentioned. You want to put those email addresses in the Google Doc. Obviously, email address, name, associated company, etc. And you want to start reaching out. Now, my recommendation for reaching out, and it's on the next slide, is number one, always get a warm introduction if possible. Always, always, always. It's always better to go in warm than it is to go to cold, right? You're just going to get a better response. Now, going on to the second thing, don't spam. See, most people will send out automated emails, and that's against a lot of regulatory laws, especially if you're in Europe or GDPR. So that's not good at all. Even if it's not against laws, most people will be like, hey man, my name is Ameer and blah, 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 and I'm going to make you more money, or my business can save you money, or blah, 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 I'm the best SEO expert, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, they've seen it all. Like, you're not standing out whatsoever. Most cold pitches suck. They say the same goddamn thing. Blah, blah, blah. We are the best, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now, my strategy is opposite. I recommend, instead of doing mass blast emails, it's good to have the funnel, top the funnel. Remember, it's about 10% of people will become your clients, right? If you're going down the funnel, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, it's maybe 10% if you're lucky, right? So it's always good to have fresh leads at the top of the funnel. However, instead of you just sending a generic couple of sentence email, depending obviously what type of consultant you are, I recommend doing the work already. One guy actually surprised me. I hired him and he did a great job. He emailed me for one of my sites and basically did a complete audit. He did a fucking work already for me. And obviously I didn't want to implement it because I don't have time, nor my team has time. So I said, if I can do it, man, like it's already laid out. So it's about giving, as Gary Vee talks about, as opposed to taking. So audit the company that you're reaching out to, or an individual, and give them the finished product already. 99% of the people that you're reaching out to don't want to implement it. They want a done for you service. So if you can show them pre-hand, hey, I've identified the problems in your business. This is how we get there. This is the strategy. And here, take it, Even if they say no, man, you've created a great rapport. You've opened up the bridge, right? Remember, people have a different stage of buying. They may not be ready today, but they might be ready in 6 months. In fact, a lot of times, there's some studies on this. A lot of times people may not be ready ever, but they'll recommend you because they see you as adding value. You are now climbing the hierarchical level when it comes to preeminence, right? So always give, as opposed to just ask. And finally, let's say now you've done the case study, someone has seen it, you've emailed somebody with a done for you service and they like it, you got them on the phone, you're talking with them. I love this from The Godfather. You want to give them something called, I'm going to give them an offer they can't refuse. So most people, remember, this is a new relationship. You guys don't know each other. And most people talk about, well, I'm the best at doing blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever the fuck ever. I love to give them an offer of the Godfather offer, where if you really do trust in your capabilities that you can go from here to there, or like as Peter Thiel talks about, from 0 to 1, you want to do an incentive program where it's like a win-win. We call it a 100% transparent win-win offer, where it's all based on performance, right? If you truly believe that you can help them from 0 to 1, you want to have more upside as opposed to just on the front end. Most people come in and be like, hey, my service is, let's say, 10K. Great. But maybe that 10K in reality drives $5 million in sales, or does whatever types of services you have. Why are you leaving money on the table, right? Imagine going to a brand and be like, listen, I usually charge $10,000. I truly believe we can get X, Y, and Z. These are the milestones we can get at. And this is the type of back-end incentive that I want. So this is almost too good of an offer. Like for them, imagine you coming in with all the knowledge you have and be like, listen, I'll do all of this. It's already done for you. Here's the audit. I'm going to implement it, but on the back end, I'll do X. So on the front end, they're not even paying anything, right? So this is a great strategy. Obviously, it's dependent on kind of the niche where you're in and kind of like the vertical. For marketers, this is really good. Anything that's really related to KPI structures, this is really good. Obviously, you want to take this and kind of put it within your vertical. Remember, this doesn't fit for everybody, but this has worked extremely well for myself and many other people that I know. And finally, remove 10% of the lower level clients. Listen, no matter what, man, you're not going to please everybody. That's the reality, right? You have about 10% of people who are at the lower end of your bucket, which you cannot please. And it's not good for both parties. You know, doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how great they are. It's just you guys aren't a good fit. And that's natural. You want to cut them out, right? And so my recommendations every quarter, 90 days, you want to go through your clientele list and that's it. You want to remove them. And you want to start focusing on higher level clients, less clients. You know, there's a saying less is more. So less clients, higher quality and better outcomes. The whole point of you being a consultant is there's a problem. You have the knowledge, which for the most part isn't the most important thing, tell you the truth. Knowledge is everywhere, but you know through experience how to implement that knowledge and how to work with teams and individuals and leaders. And how do you take that knowledge and integrate it to this new type of entity? Then how do we track this new integration for results, right? And so you want to be working with people who appreciate you. At the same time, you want to be working with people who implement the strategies that you have. And 10% of them, for the most part, will never do that. And that's the reality. And that's pretty much it. These are the tips, right? You can start this today. This can be applied for any industry. It doesn't really matter. If you guys have any questions for me, leave a comment below this video and don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.